Now with reactions, political analyst Jim Warren, executive editor of NewsGuard, which rates the credibility of news and information sites. Good morning, Jim.
Hey guys, welcome to the very profitable world of youth travel baseball from Cedar Rapids.
Well, we're glad you can join us wherever you're zooming from. Foggy versus faulty is your first point.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys know, TV is a visual medium, and the president came off as foggy, disjointed, his mouth agape at sometimes, a raspy voice, staring at Trump with, I don't know, was it derision and disbelief, or was it something else, not quite understanding what Trump was saying? Conversely, Trump was really vintage Trump with a litany of misstatements that would keep non-ideological fact checkers like us busy all evening. By most accounts, at least 30 factual misstatements. So ultimately, you had the image of fragility versus a reality of untruths delivered with relentless, typical Trump fervor and personal condescension toward Biden.
And your second point is this split-screen melodrama. We saw them both on the screen.
Yeah, and I don't think that helped Biden. Throughout the debate, there were viewers messaging one another about Biden's appearance. Liberal Democrats especially were, I think, apoplectic. Early on, the Biden team, sensing something was amiss, told reporters in Atlanta that, well, the president was suffering from a cold. And then afterwards, Jill Biden, his wife, was praising to the hilt his performance. Now, one bottom line is we don't know how many people were watching on all the networks that were simulcasting CNN, and we won't know for a few days if any views were changed. There certainly will be some calls by Democrats today for Biden to step aside and thus inspire what would be really unprecedented, crazy 6 or 7 or 8 weeks before a Democratic convention, but it's unlikely to happen.
All right, and President Biden's missed chance.
Yeah, you know, guys, CNN decided, and I think they were probably right, not to do fact checking in real time. So Dana Bash and Jake Tapper weren't going to confront the candidates and say, no, that was wrong. Their feeling was it was going to waste a lot of time, and it was only going to result in some media bashing, perhaps by Trump, of CNN. That meant really that the onus was on President Biden to fact check Trump on his list of predictable misstatements on immigration, on the 2020 election, on the Capitol riot, and even on his criminal conviction. And by and large, Biden did not do that.
And Trump's big evasion is your fourth point.
Yeah, he insisted again that he won the 2020 election and refused to say if he would accept the results of this election. He ducked the question twice, and then when finally forced to answer it, sort of qualified and said, yeah, if this happens and that happens, you know, I would accept it. That surely doesn't help him with swing voters and a lot of independents who, you know, want him to say something otherwise.
And Jim, the final point, warm up or finale?
Yeah, Eric mentioned that a second debate is scheduled in the fall. This was held early for a simple reason. The Biden folks were nervous about being behind in the polls and thought that they could somehow recast the race. The problem now is, do you hold a second debate in the fall? I mean, Biden may, if he's still behind, may definitely want to do it. But if you're Trump, do you say, nah, this is fine with me? Maybe not. The onus really right now is on Biden to somehow recast the race, stop the bleeding in his own party, and come up with a new sort of message for the rest of this. Because ultimately, even though Trump was confident and looked totally self-assured as he was spewing out lots of misstatements, I think the main image is going to come away for a lot of people of a president who was halting and not really totally in control.
And so quickly, Jim, how seriously do you take the discussion of a Whitmer or Gavin Newsom or Harris, you know, somehow taking over this nomination?
Just knowing a few people who've spoken to Trump in the last 4, 5, 6 months, some of whom were very dubious about his continuing on with this race, he's dead set on doing it.
You mean Biden?
And Biden is dead set on sticking through this. I think there's a bit of self-confidence which borders on maybe a certain sort of arrogance on his part. But ultimately, you've got a guy who's 81 years old and now has to be sort of a, I don't know what you'd call it, a comeback kid at age 81, even though a chance of a resurgence is better than, I don't know, resurgence of the White Sox, but it's going to be a challenge for him.
All right, Jim Warren, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jim.
Here's a look at some